Alright, Mike McGroarty from freeplants.com. I want to show you in this video, I'm going to divide some grasses. Ornamental grasses can be divided. The time to do them is early in the spring before they really start growing, or in the fall just about the time they're ready to go dormant, or right after they go dormant. Now, this particular grass is going to be very, very easy to divide, and that's typically not the case for most grasses, but this is actually going to yield a lot of small grass plants that we can plant out. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just taking sections of this and tearing it apart, and these two right here are a pretty good example, and so I don't, for the example's sake, I'm going to cut that right there and show you. Basically, I'm going to take the tops off because the tops are going to die back anyway. Find the piece that I threw down there. Here's another one. Now, I'm going to hold these up because these are actually pretty good little divisions, and when we plant these out, we'll put them in a bed probably about that close together. And the secret to grass is, if you have them in your landscape and you're leaving them there permanently, that's fine. But if you intend to dig them up and divide them, don't let them stay there more than a year, because they can get very, very difficult to divide. A lot of the grass varieties, the root mass gets so massive that it's almost impossible to dig them up and divide them. So again, here I got two nice little divisions, and I'll cut the top off. And those actually are two nice little divisions. Now, I don't know whether you want to put those in your landscape, but you can put them in your garden somewhere, like real close together for a year, pull them out. At the end of the year, you're going to have a really nice little division. So now I'm going to show you, this is actually bunny grass, and this one is going to be a lot more difficult to divide, because you can see the root mass is really tight, and this is really, really tight. So getting this thing divided is going to it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort. So once we get this divided, we're actually probably going to have to take a knife and just start cutting into it, and cutting it apart. And even with some of the other grasses like maiden grass and morning light, you wouldn't even get a knife through them like that. I've divided them, and there's been times when I've practically had every tool in the shed out trying to figure out how to get the divisions that I wanted. So basically, I'm going to cut that off. Now that's still a lot bigger division than I want in the nursery. So I'm going to cut this again and see if I can come up with something I can work with. Yeah, I've got enough roots there. Again, I'd take the top off of that and end up with a nice little division like that. This one, same way. I'm going to take some of these roots off here. I don't want too many roots. Cut the top back to about like that. That's a nice little division. Now this piece here is hanging off. I will use that division because I kind of like that size, because next year it's going to be very easy for me to pull that up and divide it again. Again, I'm doing this because I want to get as many numbers as I can out of these divisions, so I can end up with a nice quantity of these things to sell. Little tiny divisions, but I will plant those things out in a bed, and next year we'll divide them again, divide them again, divide them again. So you get a lot of plants from one particular grass plant. I got some bigger ones in 2 and 3 gallon containers. I've got some morning light to divide. They're going to be a bear. Sometimes, if you can't do anything else, you'll have to get a reciprocating saw with like a pruning blade and literally cut those clumps into pieces to get that grass divided. So that's a short lesson in dividing ornamental grasses. You want to do this early spring, late fall, and get them planted out, and they should do just fine for you. I'm Mike McGroarty from freeplants.com.